Well, we got a little bye-week chalk talk, and I thought Dave Wyman did an excellent job of writing about the Percy Harvin effect. You can find his article at 710sports.com. I thought I would bring it to life on the whiteboard just a little bit with what I'm going to call the Harvin effect. This was the touchdown pass right before halftime. 16 seconds left. No timeouts, 2nd and 10. Seattle had orchestrated with Russell a really good drive to this point, had utilized both their timeouts and burned them appropriately. Got a really good kickoff from this guy return that set up this whole drive and this whole scenario and situation. But I won't deviate. On a bye week, I won't deviate from what we've done all year long. Players, formations, plays. Players, what do you guys do best? Put them in a formation and take advantage, and then ultimately you got to be able to make the play, and that's exactly what we see here. This is also a pretty strong indictment on Leslie Frazier and the Minnesota Viking defense running their cover two. And then lastly, in the last little footnote to this, I asked Pete Carroll pretty specifically about this play, and I'll use a couple of his little nuggets to finish this thing off. Players. Well, what do I want to do with Percy Harvin? I want to put Percy Harvin in a situation to maximize his speed, where his explosiveness can come to the forefront. Formation. Let me put him and Doug Baldwin on the same side, knowing that Minnesota loves to play two deep coverage, knowing that Minnesota's played a lot of this on the drive, that they're going to play cover two, have the two safeties deep to try to keep everything in front of them, knowing this ball has got to go to the end zone with no timeouts and 16 seconds left, and then ultimately the play between Russell Wilson and Doug Baldwin. So this is a pretty simple concept. Okay, this is just all go. Okay, and you're trying to get vertically, no surprise here. Minnesota rushes just 4, you get pretty good protection out of those. Now here's a couple of the keys and a couple of the details. When you watch this play and you go back and look at it, watch how hard Zach Miller runs on this play. I asked Coach Carroll specifically, when you're playing too deep, how do you take away this concept? How do you take away a 2-on-1? And he pointed to, well, the middle linebacker and the nickel in the corner. All three of those guys got to come to the aid of that safety. And it's also important for your guys to put that safety in a bind. And in this case, well, Seattle's guys win. Watch Zach Miller come off the ball. He's on the line, and these two are off of it, but he is busting his tail. He is sprinting. In fact, he and Percy are even about 5-6 yards in, and he's going and he takes this middle linebacker out of the play. Percy actually does an excellent job. I believe he does not even get touched by the nickelback. The nickelback, you have got to disrupt that receiver, as does the corner, and neither of those guys do. As once again, Pete Carroll says, your Mike, your nickel, your corner have all got to help your strong safety, in this case, the half-field defender, and they don't. And it's a credit to 11 and 89 to get free releases, and those guys are screaming. In fact, Doug even comes inside on his release, and that corner doesn't touch him. And those two put this safety in a bind. And anytime, I've told you before, as Tom Moore said, my job is to get you a one-on-one. Your job's to win it. Well, how about this job that Darrell Bevell, and more importantly, the execution and the speed and the releases of these receivers, they put this strong safety in a 2-on-1, and he plays in between, gives Russell the opportunity to throw a perfect throw. As Tim Ryan said, into the honey hole between the corner and the safety. You get the big touchdown before half. It is the Harvin effect. It is those guys running full speed. I saw it for years. I saw it with Dallas Clark and Marvin Harrison. I saw it with Marcus Pollard and Marvin Harrison. I saw it with Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. The ability to really put that safety in a bind. It starts with their releases. It helps with some poor defense. And in the end, a touchdown before half that really, really separated the Seahawks in this game.